Hey. Okay, so I was gonna go play poker tonight, but then I decided not to because I'm tired and I don't like to play poker when I'm tired. But when I was thinking about going to play, I was like thinking of where I should go, and then I was like, I think I'll go play at Caesars. And then I got reminded of a story that happened to me the last time I played at Caesars, which was like maybe 6 weeks ago. And then I just like started thinking a little bit and I decided to make a video and tell my little story and then like see if anyone like has any comments or suggestions or whatever because this is like one of the things that should be like a concern for I guess anybody but especially women in poker. Okay, so anyway, I was playing at Caesars and it was late, not too late. It was probably like 1 in the morning when I left and I don't know if you're familiar with Caesars, but they have like their own like separate poker room that's kind of by the club. Then you have to walk out. The garage is like multi-level, and the elevators have like several doors. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I didn't win that much money. Was up a little bit or whatever. And so I left the poker room, and I'm walking through the casino, and I walk by these two guys. And of course, like guys are stupid in Vegas, especially, and they're always like, oh, whatever, say stuff to you, which isn't usually a big deal. I just like walk away or whatever. But these two guys, like one in particular, just like looked at me like super weird. Was like, oh hey, whatever. But I just like got a weird feeling already, and I'm like super into like intuition. I super believe in intuition. Okay, just like the way I don't know, it didn't feel right. Anyway, so then that was like near the club. I don't think he saw me leaving the poker room, but it was like he was partying, you know, he was like a little drunk. Then there was a big gap of like space to the elevator. So I walk over to the elevator, and it happened to be like the same night that there was like a homecoming or prom or something going on because there was a bunch of like teenagers dressed up, and I don't know why you would go to Caesars after your prom or whatever, but there was a bunch of teenagers there. So I walked over to the elevator, and there was maybe like a couple of groups of people like waiting for different elevators. And I like walked up to the middle and I pushed the button, and then I just like hear these two guys like come up, and they both like stand like right behind me. And I'm like, fuck my life. And I kind of like look out of my peripheral vision or whatever, and it's the same guys that I walked by that gave me the heebie-jeebies. And I'm like, fuck. So like I'm thinking to myself like, this is awkward. That's a weird coincidence that they just happen to be right behind me, right behind my elevator. There's like, you know, little groups of kids, you know, I don't want to like make a big deal about it. I'm like, I don't want to be like that girl that like freaks out because there's like guys following her. So then I just like, I'm like standing there waiting, and I hear their conversation behind me, and it's like so awkward. They're like, what floor are we going to? Oh, I think we're on 3. Wait, we're on 5? No. And then one guy goes, we'll just go where the pretty people go. And then I was like, oh my God. And the elevator opened, and I just like, and I kind of felt like I had this like thought in my head right then, and I was like, oh, if I just like walk away, they're gonna think like I'm just stupid or whatever, and then all the like people around there will be like, oh, what's that girl's problem or whatever, you know. So kind of I had that fleeting thought of like, oh, that's embarrassing, or I'm gonna look stupid or whatever. But then I was like, then I thought about the movie The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and there's this one part where the killer invites like the guy in, and the guy like totally already knows he's a murderer, but he goes into his house, and then later when the killer has him like tied up and about to like, string, I don't know, like whatever he's gonna do to him, kill him, he says like, why do people do that? Why don't you follow your intuition when you knew that I was gonna do this? Why would you come into my house? Because you want to be cordial, you want to be polite or whatever. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. So I had that thought, but then I was like, thought about the movie. I was like, fuck it. So I just like turned around and like walked away. And then they both the guys were like, oh, she's scared. She got scared. Whatever. Ha ha ha. And they're like laughing. And then all the kids started getting in the elevator, whatever. And then so I just like walked around the corner, and I sat down on a slot machine, and I like pick up my phone, and I'm just like checking Facebook or texting, I don't know. And I'm like, I wait like 3 minutes, and like that's a fair amount of time for them to be gone, you know. So then I walk back, and no one has really like walked past me to go to the elevators. So I walk back, and sure as shit, they're still standing there, and they're like, "Oh, what's your problem? Oh, you scared? You scared of something?" And I was just like, where are you going? Are you getting in the elevator? What? Don't let me hold you up or whatever." And then the elevator opened, and they got in, and they started like yelling like obscenities at me, like, "Oh, fuck you, whatever, you just a hoe, you ugly anyway," like all this stuff. And I'm like, bye, you know. And so then the elevator closed, and then I was like thinking, I'm like, fuck, do I just get in another elevator really quick and go up to the floor I'm at and just go to my car, or wait here for them to like come back down, or do I go get security, or like I don't know what to do. It's like they didn't like threaten me, but it was just like a very weird situation. Anyway, so I ended up just like getting in the next elevator and going up to my car. And I carry like pepper spray on my keychain, but it's not like that's gonna do much or whatever. And they could have been innocent. They could have just been like fucking around and being stupid or whatever. But anyway, it just made me think like that sucks. Like to have to like deal with that after you leave a casino. And I mean like that. First of all, it sucks being a girl at all, and like leaving a casino to a garage, you know, where it's like totally detached from the casino and there's no like valet right there. But it sucks even more when you're like when you play poker, and they didn't know I was playing poker, I don't think. But what if like guys like totally know you just won a bunch of money, you know? And that could be for guys as well, but it's like super dangerous. So then I was like thinking like, just if that ever happened, like what's the proper way to handle it? Like, do you go get a security guard to walk you out? They're not going to want to walk you out every day. Like there's not enough staff for like security to walk every girl out every day, you know? Yeah, so I don't know why I just thought about that, but yeah, that's all. Is there anything else I was thinking? Yeah, no, I just don't know. That wasn't like the scariest thing that could ever happen, but it's like a thought. It's like that's like only it's so timid, but it's so like possible that shit like that can totally happen, especially to women, and especially to women who they know you have money in your pocket and it's super late at night, and that sucks. Yeah. Okay. Those are my thoughts. Bye.